thing I thought we'd do is I'm just going to open the system, and I thought we would just set up schedules for the week of the 21st through the 25th.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. Do you know how to do that, or do you want?
Yeah, I actually did. You had asked me Wednesday to set them for the 14th through the 18th, so I had already done that.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead? I'm giving you keyboard and mouse.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and just set some for the following week?
Okay. So that would be.
Yeah, I think it's the 21st. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to start with Alan.
Okay.
Stacy and I learned a couple shortcuts yesterday as well when we were looking at it.
Okay.
So we were going to do the 21st. Sorry, it's a little bit lagging on my end.
That's okay. Yeah, you go to meetings sometimes a little problematic.
Right. All right. A typical day. Servicing. And we'll do one.
And just be careful that you always get that message that says, that verifies that it was whatever that last message about the capacity was changed.
Okay.
Because sometimes you can do it, and I think we'll just go through the process now. I'll tell you what it misses.
Okay.
Yeah, that last piece there where you're putting in that subzone code.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, yeah, if you can go ahead and put it in, but
okay.
Sometimes it, like, for whatever reason, it doesn't actually fill it in, and you hit OK, and it'll just disappear without getting that message.
Okay. So then if I don't get this message.
So if you don't get that one right there, then you know that it didn't actually set the schedule. So.
Okay. Okay. So this part is actually, I like this a lot. Especially for like Brian, for example.
Right.
You know, if he has his, the 9 to 5 schedule, then I'm not having to go in and, take them.
Mark all of his 6 and 7s is off now.
Right. Yeah. So it's nice not to have to be able to do that.
Right.
And it's nice also to be able to go down a list.
Right.
Versus making sure I haven't missed anybody by entering their information in.
Right. Well, the whole point of this was, to make it better. So hopefully, we've done that.
Absolutely. I think I did Jared last. And I liked, Stacy and I were working it yesterday, and I accidentally tried to schedule Dave twice, and it told me.
Yeah.
So that was nice to know that I couldn't accidentally duplicate it.
Right. How about now, since you've got a couple guys scheduled, why don't we go through the process. I know you put Alan in MC1. If you wanted to move him to another area for a day or for a whole week,
Okay.
why don't we look at that?
So, okay. Is that where I highlighted Alan and clicked change service zone code? No.
No, I think what you'd want, you can try that, but I mean, there's another way that I would do it.
I think I went to navigate yesterday.
Yeah, there's one called resource capacity.
Okay. So that was under navigate, okay, in resource capacity.
Right.
Okay. And then what I think we did is, let's say for the 21st, I wanted to
Right, yeah.
click on that and then change service zone code. Yes. And right now he's in 1. Let's say I want to put him in 2.
You may want to check. See, it says where number is. That's the technician number. You may want to verify that it's Alan.
Okay.
If you click that little button, it'll give you the name. It'll give you the list with names. You can, yeah, it defaults to him,
Okay.
but I just want to be sure.
And then I want to say we had to put the date here.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't remember. Okay, so 9/21.
Yeah, go ahead and put it in and see what happens. Okay.
And click OK. And then in order to see it here, I had to refresh.
Right, yeah. No, you're definitely, you're getting good at it.
Well, yesterday, Stacy and I couldn't figure out how we changed it, and then we weren't, and then we realized that it was that refresh that, you know.
Right. Okay. All right, well, how about then for the 22nd? Let's say with that one, you needed to break it up where, like, for a half a day, maybe he's in MC1, the second half he's in MC2.
Okay. So that day I would select it, and then, hang on. There's no edit button in this. So is this one where I could just go in here
and
and
just go in and
manually?
directly change it here, yeah.
Okay. So then,
and you can also mark like his 1 o'clock as a travel if you wanted to.
okay. So let me, sorry, it's like really small too.
No, that's all right. No, again,
In travel. Okay, so they wouldn't be able to see his 1 o'clock now that it's off, and then
exactly.
I can see the reason why. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I would have to click OK and refresh.
Right.
So
And
it'll
that's
still
what,
show me NC2, but it's split schedule.
right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so, I mean, so that's basically just setting the schedules. What is, I know obviously we got to look at kind of what you would do. We've got an appointment set for today to kind of look at what you would do to finalize the schedule for today. Is there anything you'd want to see before that you're not sure about, or?
No. Yesterday when we played with it, I also learned how to switch multiples, like trying to switch an entire day.
Okay.
And it worked, but the only thing is like, for example, let's say Alan only has a 9 and a 10 appointment open, but I wanted to switch the entire day so that the other guy would be completely in that area. It won't allow me to switch values with 0, it says. So anything that's not actually set, I can't switch it. I would have to go in manually, change the service areas.
Right.
And that's fine. It just, it's a little bit different.
Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that.
Okay.
Well, how about this though? Are you familiar with the technician skills and the crawl space setup?
Yes, that was. Let's see. That would have been here. So, for example, Alan, I would open him up, and let's see. Okay, not on this tab. The skills.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, like for him, notice you don't see termite treater.
Right.
Okay. And then if and I'll take it real quick so I can show you.
Okay.
What I'm typing in is service item template, which is our list of services, and this is going to give me a list. So here's the list of services. So I'm going to pull up the termite treatment. This is the no charge. And if you go here on navigate here, you see it says resource skills.
Yes.
Click here, and then it shows the skill that's needed to be able to have an appointment set for that service. So it matches that's how we match it up.
Okay.
So for someone to be able to schedule a termite treatment for a technician, this skill here must be listed for that technician.
Okay.
And then one way to check that, it says here, you see that's the skilled resources here. If you click here, it gives you a list of all the technicians that are termite treaters that have that skill.
Okay. Now, is that another way? I see the check mark here. Is that another way for me to go in and let's say that all of a sudden Alan can do them?
Right. No, the way you wouldn't do it through the check mark here. You like right now, you would go back to Alan's. You go back to Alan's resource card.
Okay.
And go back to navigate where we were. Go back to his skills. And then you would go down the list and select treater.
Okay.
Treatment. And we're going to clean these up too when when we're only a couple weeks away, but when we go live, like we got some in here that are crawl or that don't belong here, but we're going to clean it up so it's just the actual skills that are needed.
Okay.
And maybe Stacy may be messaging. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll look at another one. I'm going back to the service item template. And the reason I'm doing this, I just want to make sure you understand this relationship.
Okay.
So let's pick like a mosquito service. I'm going to navigate, skills, resource skills, and you see here mosquito. That's the skill we've assigned to the mosquito service.
Okay.
And then if you click on skilled resources, you can see here are the ones that we've actually assigned that can do mosquito.
Okay.
So again, like Brian is not scheduled for a mosquito service. So if you've got a customer that's in whatever area you schedule him for, and you try to schedule a mosquito service, Brian's not going to appear on the schedule.
Okay.
Just like with Alan, if you try to schedule a termite treatment, you're just not going to see Alan.
Right.
Another one, which is a good example, is WDI. Again, navigate and resource skills. You see, we've got one called WDI.
Okay.
And then you look. you can see here are the guys that we have that can do WDIs.
Okay.
So again, if you have a WDI and you've got, say, Dave and Michael in the same area, and you schedule a WDI, you're only going to see Dave.
Okay.
On the schedule.
That's definitely going to be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we can test that if you want to see that. I think maybe we already showed it to you at one time.
We actually went and sent a few yesterday where it would only bring up certain text.
Okay, so I mean, from what I've been told, you spend some time, almost on a daily basis cleaning that up, where things are scheduled for somebody where they can't actually do it.
Yes.
With the way the system, so hopefully that will prevent that.
Yes. That's one thing I'm really looking forward to.
Okay. Okay.
I'm on, guys. Sorry, Bobby.
That's all right, Stacy. No problem. I recorded the first part, and it was the whole thing's being recorded. But basically, we set some schedules. Now we're just going in and looking at the relationship of these skills, to the technician. And actually, we've got this button here, Assign Resources. I'm not exactly sure what this does. Okay. Well, Amy, this takes you to the actual list of text where you could go in and change, what they're assigned.
Okay.
But the other thing, if you looked at it, are you familiar with the way that the functionality works for the structures? So, for instance, like somebody who can't do a crawl space, how that works?
Yes, where you would just have, well, I haven't seen this portion of it, but I have seen where I can, enter in that they can't do, or I would just, I guess, hit basement or slab there.
Right. Yeah, well, just so I can check, I just want to make sure you understand how the system is set up for this. As I'm pulling up here, 1-year termite service plan, or just in 1-year IC.
Mm-hmm.
Open that up. Notice this button here, structure filter or checkbox, structure filter on or off.
Okay.
And what this is basically saying is, it's telling the system for this type of appointment that the system needs to match the type of structure the customer has with whether or not the technician can do that structure.
Okay.
Because if it's a termite inspection, he needs to inspect a crawl space.
Right.
Now notice if I pull up pest control reservice, that box is not checked because it's irrelevant. Again, because he doesn't have to access the crawl space to do the reservice.
Okay.
So again, going back, if we go back to the technician here with Alan, same thing, you go to navigate and you hit structure. Here are the 2 types of structures he can do.
Okay.
So if you try to schedule like a 1-year IC for somebody that has a crawl, a small crawl, or condition crawl, you're not going to see Alan.
Okay.
Because what it's saying is, okay, for that type of appointment, you match the structure. Now, if it's a pest control reservice, it doesn't matter. And that's why you don't have, because that box isn't checked, because you can, again, it's irrelevant to do a reservice. So,
okay.
So that's the relationship there.
Okay. That makes sense, and that'll definitely, not take up a whole lot of my time.
Right, yeah. Let's go back to, and again, I have to type in here to search for the service item list. Okay, but again, like for instance, like the mosquito service, I'm clicking on that one. You see structure filter
Right.
isn't checked. But you look at, go to a renewal, it is checked.
Okay.
Do you ever run into where we schedule like a PC reservice for somebody that has a termite only? Is that ever an issue?
Yes. I have seen those.
Okay. All right, well, notice, again, let's look at, here's PC reservice. You see this active plan type required?
Yes.
This check. Basically, this is telling the system before you schedule that reservice, you need to check to make sure that they have an active pest control plan.
Okay.
If they don't, it won't allow them to schedule the pest control reservice.
Okay, good.
So, and if you go to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of our customer accounts and show you what their contract would look like. Just pick this first one here. Hopefully they have a contract. Yeah, they do. Okay, here, this one is a 2-year pest control. Well, it's not allowing me to edit it. Oh, here we go. All right, so I click on plan type here. You see this, it says these boxes, pest control, yes or no?
Right.
This is what the system is looking at for the type of plan. And so if they have a plan where it's checked, that means, or let me put it, yeah, if the plan is checked and that's the type of plan they have, they can get a PC reservice based since that box is checked. If they have like a termite only, this box isn't checked, which means you can't schedule the PC reservice.
Okay.
So that's the
So
I don't think. Well, go ahead.
Will it stop them from being able to do it, or this just tells them that they can't?
No, it will stop them. I'll show you. Let's see if we can find one that has. Okay, here's one with a termite only.
Okay.
I'm going to create a service order real quick. Okay, so here's their information. Let's go down here. You see again, they've got just a termite only.
Okay.
So I'm going to go here, line, service item template. I'll select PC reservice, and that's what comes up.
Okay.
And it won't let you actually fill in that service item.
Okay.
So again, those are really what the three we just looked at: the skills, the structure, and then the active contract for pest control. Those are the filters that really limit what the appointment setter can do. So I'm hoping that a lot less mistakes get to you. So.
Right.
The other thing, have you looked at, or are you familiar with, again, we may have talked about, I've done so many training sessions that I now forget what I've done with who. But have you looked at the new way the travel time is done? Are you familiar with that?
Yes. Where they schedule it themselves as they're setting the appointment?
Exactly. Yeah, I think we did look at that because we also look how when they reset it, it puts all the appointments back on the schedule.
Right. Now, I did have a question about how you wanted me to handle if they had done one like back-to-back. Like, let's say that one had required travel to and from, let's say the travel is at 9 o'clock, the appointment is at 10 o'clock, and then another travel is at 11.
Right.
And then let's say the next technician or representative had another one with to and from, so they took the 12 as travel, the 1 for the appointment.
I think
how should I go about that?
I think there should be enough between the report that I just sent you.
Yes. I just didn't know what the best way for me was to handle it, whether it would be like sending one back to the representative or...
Yeah, or what you could do, you could just put that travel time back on.
Okay.
I mean, because basically what's happening is you're getting 2 travel times back to back.
Right.
It sounds like to me that's the way you could just go ahead and take that like noon travel and just put it back on the schedule.
Now, would I be able to move the appointment time myself, to combine those so that we don't have the wasted travel, or would I just send it back to the record?
The customer would have to be notified that if
Okay.
you're moving. Yeah, you could try to get them to move it.
Okay.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. So you've got you've got a 9 as a travel, the appointment's at 10, the 11 is a travel,
Mhm.
and then they've got. I mean, let me ask you, what do you do now when that happens? I guess they're requesting for you to.
Yeah, they request me to take the travel, and I'll say, wait, we can't do that time. See if the customer can do this time, and we'll combine those 2 appointments. So instead of taking 4 hours travel, we're only taking 2 hours travel.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to, come up with a way where you're analyzing the schedule via this report.
Right.
And again, you can run this by a date range. I mean, you could put it in for, for all of next week. Would be like the 14th, That
okay.
Or the 18th. So it would come up that way, and then you could, you could somehow analyze. Well, the other thing you could do too is status reason here. You can go in and filter and put in status reason, and then go in and select travel.
Okay.
So you could see, it would show you. Let's look at it for today, since I think we have some travel times in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows you the travel times.
Okay.
So maybe that would be the best way. I mean, we accept the fact that that could possibly happen, but you're going to be running this on a daily basis, maybe for a couple days from now.
Right.
See if we end up with, back-to-back travels, and then we go in and try to deal with it.
Okay.
Just so you know, because again, you can filter by any of these columns here. Like if you wanted to see just for MC1, add filter and put in service subzone code, and it'll give you a list, and you can just see, okay, all the ones that are MC1.
Okay.
I mean, I would think that would help you with moving stuff around. Where
Right.
you would just see one area that you could be moving stuff in between.
Okay.
The same thing, if you wanted to see it just for a certain technician, put in resource number, and you could get a list by all you just wanted to see Ray's appointments.
Okay.
So you may want to play around with this when you're working in here. Is go in here and just any of these here, you can go in and just run a list by that.
Okay.
What about, speaking of moving appointments around, I know in the current system we have, it's called a dummy technician.
Yeah.
You got, in here we've got one called a ghost technician.
Right.
And I'll pull that up real quick. Here it is. And you can set schedules for this ghost technician just like any other tech. Put them wherever you want.
Okay.
But the only difference is right here, this omit from allocations is checked. That means they never show up on the schedule.
Okay.
So you can put a ghost technician, and you can even set up more than one in here. But so you could put them in whatever area you needed. So when you got to the point you were going to move appointments, you could move them to the ghost technician and make it easier to move around.
Right.
That's but it's, again, it's right there. That omit from allocations is what's checked to make them a ghost technician.
Okay. Which I don't know that with the being able to just swap them totally, I don't know that I'll really have to use the ghost that much.
Okay.
because right now the only reason why I would use, that is because I've got, when I'm flip-flopping, I've got to change one to the dummy and
Right.
go back and change the other die, then change it back.
Okay.
But that's nice, too, for, for example, with this, or next week with Dave being out, I could flip-flop his stuff to a Ghost and then put him where I needed it to be.
Right. Okay. Well, it's there, so I mean, you can use it however you want it, but
Okay.
we put it in there for you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll get us back to then here, if you want to go and pull up today's schedule, or if there's anything else you want to talk about before then. I got one thing. What about the alert process for you? Are you okay on how that works?
Yes. The only thing that is happening as well is I'm getting like alerts that are like same day sets, at least through my email.
Yeah, that's just the way I set up the email.
Okay.
That would change. Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I'm fine with it. I don't know. Will you show me one more time how to get to those?
To the alerts?
Yes, on here. I mean, I know how to get to them.
You see the button, the cube on those cubes. There's one on the top right that says schedule alert.
Schedule. Yes. Okay. So right there.
Yeah, you've got keyboard and mouse if you want to click on it.
Okay. Okay.
And then to open one, it's navigate, and then it'll be something like card or something that you click. Yeah, and that would actually open it where
so
you can
see. So I
see.
could click this one and click card.
Right.
No,
And just so I know you understand, what are you looking at here?
I would be looking at the, let me see, sorry. So I see that there's the Jared only alert, but I don't see the scheduling alert.
What I'm asking was what document in the system are you looking at?
On here, isn't that the customer's card? Where
No.
you would go and enter, okay.
No, this is the service order.
Okay, this is the service order, okay.
Right. And again, it's a service order because you see, these service item lines.
Okay.
Where you can see what, the actual services that we're selecting to schedule. And then you also see here where you have the resource number, or technician number, name, date, and time, so you know it's been scheduled.
Okay, gotcha. Well, now, how is this I guess an order for me if it's already been scheduled, or a scheduling alert?
Well, because it may not be scheduled. I mean, this is one we're testing with. You're probably going to see one, and we'll create a new one.
Okay.
Well, let's look at all these and see if maybe one that would make more sense to you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one that you probably say, okay, notice this one has not been scheduled. We've got a termite treater. They're in MC3. There's not that many customers in MC3, so maybe we don't have a treater in that area. And so they're going to alert you to request the treater for area 3.
Okay. So the request will also be in the schedule note?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And if you look at the email that you get for these, it gives you the service order number and the request.
Okay.
So what you would do is you would go in and you would adjust the schedule so we have a treater in area 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then either you could use like the dispatch note feature, or we've got up here, you see this note feature here?
Right.
Okay, notice, all right, the administrator, that's the login for marketing that scheduled this. You could click here, create a note, and put something in. Something like that, put a note in, and then the note saves to this account, but then you can also send it to the administrator.
Okay.
To do that, you click notify and save it. Okay. So that note's here. I click back on notes. It's saved here, Termite Treater and MC3, and then let me get off of this service order. Notice here it says my notifications.
Okay.
This logged in as me. But notice here, you see these different notes. They would see that notification here, and they could click on it and open it and see that note.
Okay.
So, and I'll tell you what, I'll log out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, now go ahead, Amy.
I'm sorry. How would I clear that out? So, like, I see that alert, and then I'm done with it, and I want to remove it so that I don't see it anymore. Okay.
Yeah, you just uncheck it.
This
Yeah.
schedule notes alert. Okay.
Right. And it's the same thing like when, like this one here, when we're not, if this were a same day appointment, let's say they set this for today, and to alert dispatch, they put in here same day notes, click that, and then an alert is sent to the via email, plus it goes on the list, is sent to the dispatch department so they can notify the tech it's the same day.
Okay.
But one thing to keep in mind, and I'm not sure if you're fully understand this yet or not, but keep in mind, anytime that we're talking to a customer, whether we schedule the appointment or not, we're creating a service order.
Okay.
So it's different now. Now the system, it's not like that in the current system. But with this, everything is going to have, a service order. And we're going to work with that from the time, let's say whether it's marketing or customer service, from the time they start talking to that customer, they're going to work off the service order. Like I said, if there's a, any type of alert or note for you is going to be on the service order. And then that's what, when you look at the schedule, here, and I'll put in today's date. Not only does it have the customer number, which is their customer account,
right,
but we're working off a service order, which has its own unique number.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, that service order is either going to be run and produced, which means it's a completed accounting transaction. We can bill them, for whatever the service is, or we're going to, there's a process to cancel it.
Okay.
But everything, again, when you're working from, when you like these lists here, think of it in terms of this service order.
Okay.
All right, now I just click that service order number, and I think actually, I think that we never did get this set up where you could click directly into the service order from here. No, we didn't. But anyway, yeah, but everything is on this service order. So just like the alerts. You would be, when you see this note, you're working off the exact same, almost like I think of it as an electronic document that the appointment setter is working from. And same thing when it's being run and dispatch is finalizing it and they're posting it when it's completed, they're using the exact same document.
Okay.
Because, think in terms right now, and this is why this is so much better and so much more efficient, because the current scheduling system, what happens is when they set an appointment, they are basically exporting the data from CMS, from like say lead management or CMS, and it's going into the scheduling system.
Right.
And it's really a separate system. The same thing when we, you print the route sheets and the tickets, the guys run them. When they're completed, we put everything into Navision. That's our accounting system, so we can, post the accounting transactions and send them a bill. Separate system. Well, this is Navision. We do that from here.
Okay.
So, I mean, have you actually seen that process?
I have not seen. Well, I've seen the old process. I haven't seen how you do it this way.
Okay. Well, we'll pick one that's running today, and we'll go through that.
Okay.
But one thing too on the here on the service order, just make sure you got it. Routing notes, and this could be something like, let's say, and we'll go ahead and set this appointment. Well, if we can, I don't know if we have anybody that can do it WDI. No, we don't. Let's pick another one. All right, I'm going to set this for Alan today at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
I hit the auto allocate hours. I hit OK and refresh, which sets the appointment. But let's say they schedule this, and again, let's pretend it's not a same day, but for some reason Alan has to run this. Here in routing notes, they could put something like Alan only.
Okay.
Do not move. Okay. Now let's go to the day's schedule, the resource capacity entries. Let's find Alan's 2 o'clock, which is here. There's that note.
Okay.
See that? So that's what routes. Again, they're putting that on the service order, and then that for routing purposes, you would see that, and no, you can't move it.
Okay.
So that's how they're doing that, to get note fields, to get information to you for routing. I mean, is there anything else like that that you would see, that the appointment setter would want you to know as far as routing appointments?
Probably the service item description too. Just because, I mean, well, I can already see that though, but just, for example, if I'm going to switch schedules, that's really the only other thing that I would need to see.
Okay, but I'm not understanding, but are there any other things like Alan only that they would put in the routing notes?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything. The only other time that sometimes there would be a note, I mean, maybe like a WDI for marketing, because sometimes they'll set it as a 2TP, but they need a WDI as well. So other than that.
Okay, well, when they set a 2TP and they need a WDI, with this new system, they're going to set service items for both.
Okay, so it would be like a 2-hour appointment?
Well, it can be. If it is, they would set it as a 2-hour.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. So 2 different service items could really be a 1-hour appointment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that each one had to have its own appointment to take care of it.
No, No, let's look at one. I'm going to pick one that we set up before, and we'll create that scenario.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to remove the mosquito service here. Okay, so let's say they got a 1-year termite, and we're also going to do a WDI. Actually not. I'm going to pick a different one because this one's an NC6. Let me find a better one to do it with. Here, okay. This one's better. This one's an NC4. So, okay, so they set the 1-year termite test, and let's say we're doing a WDI too. Okay, notice now you've got the one-year termite, and I'm not going to get into how they're going to charge for which one, but you were asking about the hours. So the system, every single appointment except for a termite treatment defaults to 1 hour.
Okay.
And what the system is doing, this is the number of hours that the system is saying it's going to take is 2. Oh, you know what? We already got this scheduled for somebody. Let me move this off of Jared. Okay. All right, so the system is saying, all right, it's 2 hours, but they know that they could do this in 1. They go here to this field, hour for allocation. Hit refresh. Now here, this is like the official hours it's going to take. It's 1 hour.
Okay.
So you can change it.
Okay.
But no, it should anything with service items, they're not going to be putting something in a note field. We're going to select the actual service items here. And that's one of the nice things about this system is you can put as many as you want. Let's say we're also going to do a mosquito. Let's say, okay, they also want a stink bug. Okay, and they've got all kinds of problems, so they're going to get a bee nest removal. Okay. All right, I'm getting ready to hit the refresh key. Keep in mind, the initial charge was $356 for the ICPC. And again, we said the total hours was going to be 1. I hit refresh. Notice how this total automatically changes.
Oh.
And notice here the hours change because what it's doing is adding the total for these hours here, and it's also adding the total for the service charge.
Okay.
So one thing, that's one thing I wanted to get away from, and it's not just for the reason of notes, but we're trying to get away from like the current system. You have to put in like a bunch of things in note fields because you can really only schedule 1 or 2 services, for an appointment.
Right.
Here you can schedule as many as you want, and the system is set up to calculate, the total charge, total hours. Now let's say, again, this one's saying it's 4 hours, and we say, well, you know what? A lot of this stuff is similar to the way we're going to spray. We could do it in 2. We go to hour for allocation, hit 2, and then refresh, and it changes it to 2.
Okay.
So when you go to schedule the appointment here, resource allocations, I'll schedule it for Dave for today, and I hit auto allocate, it fills in at 2 hours there.
Okay. Now in the scheduling system, would that show all of the service order numbers under those 2 hours?
Again, it's only one service order number. Let's put back on service.
Sorry, it's like I'm trying to understand it all.
Well, that's important. But you know what, Amy? That's why I want to do this is because I want you not just to know how to do it. I want you to understand the system,
right.
And really how everything works. So because it'll make, in the long run, it'll make things a lot easier for you. So keep in mind, you've got a service. Here's the service order number, 754. Within that, you've got all these different service items. They have their own unique number.
Okay, that's where that's where I got confused right there.
Right. So again, they've got their customer number, which is their account number.
Right.
And you can only have one account number per customer. For this person at this address, they've got one account number. Now they can have many service orders because that's different appointments. So throughout their time as our customer, they're going to have a lot of different service orders. Within each service order, you can have multiple service items.
Right.
And that's what this is here. Now let's go back when you look at the schedule. And again, just so you see how we can do this, I'm pulling up today's date, and then that was Dave's schedule. So just to make it easier to find, I'm going to pull up Dave is a technician. Where's Dave's number? Here he is. Okay. All right, so here is 6 and 7. And so here you would see all of those service items, or the actual descriptions. You don't see, it doesn't give you each item number.
Okay.
But it shows you every one, so you could look at this and know exactly what was scheduled.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. But, actually, we already had a routing note in there that said Jared only when we were testing with that service order before. That's why that's in there.
Okay.
So, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Again, we've got their customer number, which, in the current lead management and customer man, we don't have customer numbers. We do in Navision. So you've got
Right.
their really customer account, then you have their service order, and then, you have the service items. Again, not all those are listed here, but, the service order numbers and the customer numbers are.
Okay.
So, again, anything with this appointment that you would need to see would be on the service order.
Okay.
And hopefully enough of it's here where you don't have to go look at the service order, but that's what we're working on from beginning to end.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to that service order just so we can, what's that account number? What I'm doing here, I got a list of the service orders, and I'm pulling it up because I know that account number. So I'm pulling
Okay.
up all the service orders for this account. Okay, now I'm going to open it, hitting edit. Let me get rid of this Jared only. Well, we set this one today. We're like as if it was the same day. And just so you're aware, what would happen with this is as it's set, they would go in and put in this same day note. And then what would happen is they would click that, and then the dispatch department would get this alert, and then they would open it up, look at this service order, see what's running, and they would notify the technician of the address, and what was scheduled.
Okay.
So, just so I know that you know, this routing note here, what exactly is that?
That would be Alan only, or Dave only.
Okay, right. And where would you see that?
I would see that in the scheduling system, the resource capacity.
All right, perfect. All right, and this,
To the right.
and this one, this schedule notes with the checkbox?
That is for them asking for, let's say that they needed, for example, the WDI. They needed a WDI tech in MC, I can't see what area it is,
Yeah.
but MC4, there it is.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So just so I want to show you next how kind of the life cycle of the service order. So now it's been scheduled. It's on the, we're running it. So we're going to have the technicians, they're going to be calling in the services to the dispatch department. We're no longer going to post from the paperwork the next day.
Okay.
If we discuss that, I mean, it's really not directly affecting you, but it is, we're going to be doing. Okay.
Yeah, I knew that they were going to kind of take over that, so that eliminated my morning portion of entering the information into LMS.
Exactly. Exactly. Because there's no more import anymore.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen that, how that's going to be different.
No.
Okay. We can show you that real quick in a second. But So this appointment's running, so let's say, and a lot of this would be set up when the appointment is being set. But let's say the technician calls and says, yeah, I was able to complete all of these services. And they're going to put down $400. 400. I don't know why it's giving me this 364.
Oh, because they applied an advance payment of
Oh, that's exactly.
$366.
Oh, you're right. I missed that. Very good. Okay, so they've actually got an advance payment. So how about this? I'm going to say they're going to pay another 100. So their total is 456. And let's say they're going to pay that in 2 installments. They would put this 2 installments here. Then the other thing we're going to put in chemical information.
Oh.
Yeah. So now we're going to be able to take the chemical information that they're putting on the service ticket, we're putting it directly into the system.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put some in here just to, just for show. And we've got what type of, equipment they use, everything. This would be none. We'll try one more. Okay, so we got chemical, we've got how they're paying, and let's say it's a check number 100, and we got to put in their billing code. Okay, so all that's being put in by, the dispatch department after the appointment is completed. The tech's given them the information.
Okay.
And then we've got this button here, post, which means we're posting this to their account. So that's completing the accounting transaction, which will allow us to bill them for these 2 installments of $132 for their balance of $264.
Okay.
And also, too, over here, now, again, this would be filled out, when the appointment's being set, we would be filling out target tests.
So that would be dispatch as well?
No, well, they would be checking to make sure it's in here. But this would be more likely being filled out as the appointment's being set.
Okay.
And then also for commission purposes, we're filling out who sold it. That information would go here. So we're putting all the information regarding this appointment. It's not just about setting it here. And then here, actually, we haven't looked at, here is the actual appointment ticket that the technician would have. That's what the technician is taking with him, the current appointment tickets that you're familiar with.
Okay.
It does all that, but then it's also about creating this, posting the accounting transaction and the chemical.
Right.
And so here you hit post, and it's posted to their account. So now let's go look at their customer account. Okay, so here we're on their account, and again, this is very new to you. I know you haven't looked at this, but like you see, here's their balance now at $264.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been posted to their account. Let's look at one of their statements. So here is the statement that we're going to send to them.
Okay.
So you're combining all the different things that we do now into one place.
Okay.
And it all revolves around these service orders. And
Right.
the other thing, let me show you, here is the information for that complete. Again, now we have the service tickets that we basically just scan and save on our network. Now we have this information sitting here. actually in the system on their account. So you can see the chemical that we use, we can see the actual services that we did, how they paid it.
Okay.
And then you also, if you go here, we don't have an email. I'll put one in here. What's your email address, Amy?
It's amyh.stc@gmail.com.
Okay. Okay, you should have, if I type that email address in right, you should receive an email, yeah, with that service, with all the information.
Okay.
So again, again, everything, like I said, is on. That's just one of the concepts I want to make sure you get. Everything's about, you know, these service orders.
Right.
And so it starts
more now that you explained it that way.
Yeah. Also, too, I mean, if you got in the list of the training videos, I know there's 19 of them.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's all of this is explained in the videos. I know it'd be time consuming. It'd probably be a good idea for you to watch them because it'll allow you to get a really good picture of I mean, get an idea of the big picture with how everything works.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. Well, now I know we just did a lot, but why don't we go back to the schedule? And then if you want to pull it up for today, and let's look at anything that you want to look at as far as moving appointments or, you know, what you would do.
Okay. Let's see. Let's get a mouse pad. So enter the date value.
Oh, you know, one thing we need to test is that feature where we would take a guy off for the whole day and then take his schedule off. Yeah, we need to test that whenever you want.
Okay. And do you know if they fixed it to where it would take the entire day?
Well, Andrew told me he did. I haven't tested it, but he told me they fixed it.
Okay. Okay, so let's say that, like, I wanted to show you this because I don't know if they could fix it, but so I see that I have just this Jared only note, but it was not with Jared. So let's say I have.
You know why that is because that's just one we use for testing. That was like we started off like 2 months ago with that and set it for Jared, and then it's been sitting there. And like I just like with that and pulled up a random service order to work with. That's why that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say that had said like Dave only, and I got an alert that said, you know, can you please switch Dave and Ray on 9/11?
Okay.
So when I would try, this is what I was like telling you earlier. So what I did, or what Stacy and I found out yesterday, is everything that you want to switch, you would highlight.
Right.
And then go to transfer allocation, but it won't allow me to switch everything because like his 9, 10, 4, and 7 are empty. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could do one of two things. I mean, I could spend some money to get it changed where you could like do the whole day, or you could just highlight the ones.
The hours.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if, I guess I should see because, let's see. Okay, well, let me see if this works because I wonder if it'll let me switch it. It should let me switch it with the 0 value. So I could do the transfer allocation.
Well, but you want to swap it though, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, swapping allocation. I want to swap it with, so it's going to allow me to swap it with Mike Jesse. So, okay. and then I would have had to I hit allocate, I'm sorry.
No,
No.
you did it right. You hit the deallocate. Now you have to go.
Okay. So then I would select, we found out yesterday that you only select the very first one. You don't highlight all of them and allocate hours.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't look like it allocated them though.
Hit refresh.
Okay. So then auto allocate. No?
No, can't just cancel. Let's go back to where we started from here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So you're trying. Let's look at Michael's schedule.
Okay. So he was.
It's one thing he's in a different area. It may be causing an issue because of that.
Yeah, it has to be because he's in area 1 and Dave was in in area 4. Okay. I think that's why we had done transfer because it.
But the transfer shouldn't work. I mean,
Stacy, do you remember?
I don't. I was actually watching you to see if I could figure it out, or see if you could figure it out, because I don't remember.
Why don't you, let's start with something. Okay, look at the, all right, Ray's got a 4 o'clock open. Let's see what Michael has at 4 o'clock. Let's try moving one appointment first.
Okay. So let me click off of that. So go back up to Mike. And he does have a 4 o'clock, so I can try to switch it.
Yeah, why don't you just try to move that one to Ray, and let's see what happens. It's different service code, so that may.
Okay. All right. So swap allocation.
See, you're swapping. Because again, one of them doesn't have anything there. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Oh, with Ray's not having anything?
Yeah, I'm saying, why don't we try first? Just try moving that to Ray.
Okay. So would that be am I doing that right? Would it be swapping or transfer?
The transfer is you're just taking one appointment and moving it to another.
Okay. So let me do that. So the 4 o'clock, and that's the right date. And I want to transfer that to, so must not, Ray's not in that area.
That's what the issue is, yeah.
Okay. So I could just swap it with Mike Jesse.
I thought we were on Michael Jesse. Yeah, you're on his schedule.
Bobby.
No, what it's doing is it's showing, and again, I really haven't worked that much with this, but what it's doing is it's showing you the list of everybody that's in the same area. It's almost what it's doing is kind of just picture yourself if you're an appointment setter and you hit deallocate and then we're going to reschedule it. That's what it's doing. That's kind of how it's showing it to you.
Okay.
And I think we never gave them instructions to set up code to swap, to say, okay, just take all the appointments from one tech and automatically move them, swap them with another. We didn't do that.
Okay.
I don't think that's in there. I mean, I think what you would have to do is you would have to, with a ghost technician, move everything from one tech to the ghost, then change the area that tech is in. Like, for instance, Michael, take everything off Michael, change his area, then you could take the stuff that's on Dave's or whoever, as long as they're in the same area, move it to Michael. And then take what's on, I guess, then change Dave's area and move what's on the ghost technician to Dave.
Okay. So pretty much like what I do now.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Okay.
So if I had just wanted to switch it with Alan, that 4 o'clock, I would just go to the okay.
Well, Alan's got a 4. That's the problem. You could swap them. The problem is Alan has, yeah. But if you wanted to move to Alan's 5, you could do that.
Okay.
But Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
the way it-
can't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say again, because the way, the programmer set this up, in his mind, he's thinking, okay, if you're setting appointments for this area, the code is in there to, set an appointment for an open time. And so that's all they did. They used basically the same code as the appointment setter for this process.
Okay. So the only time I can swap something is if there's no appointment time there. Otherwise, I'll need to transfer it to the visit.
You can swap them if they're in the same area.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, if you had, just like Richmond, if you have everybody in VR2, you can swap between techs and VR2, but if you got a guy in VR1 and VR2, no, you can't do that.
Okay. So swapping is for somebody that's in the same area. Transferring is to an open appointment on another tech.
Right, but everything has to be in the same area.
Okay. Okay. I got that now.
Okay.
I don't want to mess that one up. Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah, I guess I could talk to them about, but I mean, I can tell you it would be a lot of development hours to get it to change where you could like look at Michael's schedule and Jonathan's. I think to swap them both, just switch them both out, I think would be a little problematic on the development end. I'd prefer not to do that.
Right. No, that's fine. Just when I put the schedules out, what I would do is I would just automatically put a ghost technician out there, so that way, it's already there and I can take care of it that way.
Yeah. Well, I think what we need to do is just like today, and if you've got time, you could do it today, is go in and just practice moving them around.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like because I don't think it's really been done. We've done some sessions like this, and we move one, oh, yeah, looks right, but we really haven't done it where it's, doing, a lot of them at one time.
Right. Okay.
So
which I don't know how I'm on today because I'm a little bit behind, but I can definitely work on it next week.
Okay. Okay. Why don't we go ahead then and let's look at the function, and I think it's on the actions tab here where for a technician, or if you wanted to remove the whole day for somebody, like for instance if Jonathan called in today sick.
Okay. Do you want me to use the controls?
Yeah, go try action. I think it's on that action tab. If not, I know it. No, it's not here. We're going to have to go back.
I think it was resources, so I think it must have been.
Yeah. So go back to resources.
Okay.
Just click on that blue arrow in the top left-hand corner.
Okay. So it was resources, and then I would have selected.
Yeah, just open Jonathan's, and then there's the one that'll say delete resource capacity.
So Jonathan, edit.
No, I'm sorry. It's the one that says resource deallocation. I know these get confusing.
Oh, here. Okay. And then today's date.
Right.
15. Action.
I tell you what. Before you do this, let's could you go back to the resource capacity report, because I want to get some of the service orders for Jonathan, so we can look at the service orders after they're done. You just need yeah, okay.
And then go back.
Yeah. Okay, Jonathan. All right. Yeah.
go to resources, Jonathan, edit, resource deallocation, the date, and the reason, and there was that to be reset check out.
Actually, it's not TB, it's just RS, it's reset. Start with
Oh,
R.
I'm sorry, okay. Here we go. And then
Well, yeah, double check and make that's Jonathan, yeah.
Yep. So that's changed to Ray. So Jonathan, and okay. Resource time is already allocated for selected periods. So
Like I
it's
said,
not,
I haven't tested this, so.
okay.
Okay, hit OK. All right, now let's go look at it again.
Okay.
It may not be working correctly, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not working. Okay. All right, yeah, I'm talking. Andrew and I are doing a session this afternoon, so I'll show him that.
Okay. But that would typically be how I would do it, right?
That's exactly how you would do it. And what should happen is all of these would go away, and all of these would be marked as off. And then, like, if you open one of these service orders, that's not what I wanted. Is there a way I can get to a service order from here? Yeah, here we go. Like again, this would be removed, the appointment time would be removed, and what you would see here in this action required. What's not that one? You would want reschedule tech out.
Okay.
And then Amy, just again, just so you know how it would work, so all of those would be marked, because if you were to do this individually, that's what you would do. Like you would go, and let's say you were going to do this manually. You would go here to all of these service orders, and you would go in to here, view service order.
Okay.
You go here, that action required reset tech out. Then you would go here to resource deallocation. Okay, so it's removed. Now you go back here, you notice that one disappeared.
Right.
And then you would be also then at the same time go in, where's Jonathan? And you would mark his times as off.
Okay.
Let's do this one here, the 9. Is 9 o'clock. Again, it's view service order, which takes me to the actual service order.
Okay.
Okay. This one we'd already put the resource tech out in there or reset. So you go here, resource deallocate, and this is how the appointment setters do it. If somebody called in and said, "Yeah, I can't make that appointment time, I need to change it," you go to resource deallocation, you hit yes, and then refresh, and it removes the appointment time.
Okay.
Okay, now you can see it just disappeared. So then you would mark it off here.
Okay.
Now let's do one more. Okay, so now here's his noon. Well, I'll let you do this one. If you can go to view service order and then.
Okay, so view service order. I'm looking at my notes as well. So the action required would be, oh, I passed it. There we go. Oh. Reset tech out. And then I would go down here to line and resource C allocation. Yes.
Right.
And then refresh.
Yep.
And okay.
Right.
And then I would go here and change this to off.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do, and obviously it's not working, we're just making it where it's one command and it automatically does that for the whole day.
Okay.
So, but anyway, let's go. Hit OK. So this is something I want to show you. Just want to get the concept, and then go back to the opening screen where
this screen.
yeah, exactly, and then click on service orders.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to find a list, find all of the service orders that have that action required of reset tech out.
Okay. So that I would do. Could I change it over here or on the left?
Change it on the left. Yeah. That's
okay. So would that be? No. Oh, no, not there. Oh, add filter.
Well, no, you can do it from the top one. You're just changing it.
Okay. Okay, so that would be, sorry, it's hard for me to see them. Action required.
Yeah, the same. Yeah.
Reset tech.
Yeah, you really have to, you can search from the list if you don't know it.
Okay. And then here are all the ones that need to be reset.
Right. Now, let me ask you, if you were in the marketing department and you wanted just for the ones that are for marketing, how would you do that?
I would add a filter.
Yep.
And responsibility center.
Very good. Okay.
And marketing.
So again, that's what they're going to do. So you make that change, whether you do it individually like we just did, or we can get to work where you change it for one tech for a whole day.
Okay.
And so just by changing that action required to that, then they'll be able to search this list and know what they need to reset because of the tech being out. Now, why don't I pick any one of those and open up the service order.
Okay. And click edit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now you see what's here, and actually let's do hit OK. Let's try another one. I see an issue with this one I don't like.
Okay.
But, yeah, let's do one of the ones that when we're set where the order date is September.
Okay.
Okay. Now here's that service order that we talked about, where that we're going to create whenever we want to set an appointment. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see what exactly is running.
Okay.
So, and then if you were, let me ask you this, if you were in the marketing department and you needed to set this appointment, where would you go?
I would, let's see, I'm already in the service order, so I don't need to create one. So what I would do then is go to the line.
Right.
Or no, that's already in there, so I don't need to do the service item template. I would do resource allocations.
Right, exactly.
And then I would select the time that I wanted.
Yep.
So I'll just say 2 o'clock with Jonathan.
But before that, you got to hit auto allocate hours.
Oh, that's right. Auto allocate hours.
Just keep in mind, notice that one that's right here.
Okay.
That lets you know, okay, I've selected the time. That's what you're looking for.
Okay. So then once I hit auto allocate hours, let's say I wanted to change that. Would I deallocate and then just
exactly hit auto deallocate, and you can yep. And then
Okay.
you can move it. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that? Why don't you do that and then schedule it for the 7 o'clock?
Okay. And then auto allocate and click OK and then refresh.
Right. There you go. Well, the reason I wanted you to kind of get a feel or see like what the appointment setting process, what
Okay.
what they're doing. So let's say, okay, you've done that one, and again, you're marketing. You need to go to the next one because we have a tech out. You've got more appointments to reset.
Okay. So I would go to OK.
Yeah, and actually, probably what you would do is remove that reset tech out from the action required since it's already been reset.
So let me go back to edit.
Yeah, it just cleans up the list.
Do I need to refresh it after that, or?
I don't think so, but it's always a good idea to refresh. It's one of those things that.
Okay. Oh.
No, that's okay. What happened there is, let me show you. Click OK. Whenever you pull something up from this list, you're filtering it by this action required. When you remove it from that service order, it'll kick you off the service order.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Why don't like I said, the main concept I really want to make sure that you got here is this action required. This is for a reset appointment or for other things like we have ones that are just reset appointment where these are ones when they're being run can't be completed for some reason.
Okay.
So it's a different list, and like let's open one of these to see what it looks like. Yeah, I see you got a note in here, to be reset due to rain.
Okay.
So, and this is one that we had a mosquito service running. It couldn't be completed, so dispatch, they deallocate the appointment, they change that action required, and then we can run the list of service orders by the action required. We pull up the service order, and then we can reschedule it.
Okay.
So it's just an important concept in working, in the system with what you're doing. You need to, understand that. So I know you do, but I just want to go over and make sure you do.
Right. I think the only thing I keep going back to is the deallocate and the allocate. That's the one thing I have to get used to.
Yeah, well, that's kind of, yeah. Well, the allocate, again, when you're here, is when you pick one and you want to select it, you hit allocate. If you want to change it, then it's deallocate.
Okay.
So if we're going to pick, this one here for Eddie, auto allocate, okay, refresh, there it is.
Okay.
If you wanted to change it, after you've already come back here to refresh it, you go to line, resource deallocation. It asks if you want to deallocate, you hit yes, and you hit refresh, and that removes the appointment time.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Well, I think Amy, I think the homework for you should be, and I think whenever you get some time over the next week, is to go here, and if you need help from me or Stacy or somebody setting some schedules, is to go in for a day and really work with moving stuff around.
Okay.
Just kind of like just like some of the stuff we were, go through the process. Okay, whether you use a ghost technician or try it another way, and figure out exactly how it works. I'd like you to do is I'm going to look at the list of those training videos, and I'm going to mark the ones I'd like for you to watch that I think kind of like the big picture understanding that I want you to have.
Okay.
You know, I want you to watch those.
Okay.
You know, again, just like today, you know, like the service order concept. You know, I just want to make sure you understand that completely.
Right.
You know, like from beginning to end, you know, how that works. So.
Okay.
Hey, Bobby, we're supposed to train with Stephanie. I know, like, her department next week. We're kind of showing in the system a next few days, and then I think we're actually getting in there and, like, scheduling appointments and stuff. So I think, like, starting Tuesday, Wednesday next week, what we can do is while we're doing that is really utilize, you know, the alerts for Amy and we're putting in there specific requests for technicians and things like that, so that way she can see them.
Okay.
And kind of like working together almost.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So I'll mention that to Steph when I talk to her this afternoon, and then
okay.
Maybe get her and
that's
see if we can do that.
Right.
Yeah, that works, because then I can actually go in and move the things around, and we'll see how it works together.
Right, and you'll have appointments in there, and I think she wanted to start, like, setting actual appointments on Tuesday next week is kind of what she was thinking. So by Tuesday afternoon, hopefully we'll have, you know, some in there where you can play with them.
Okay.
I'd say one thing we'll end it on real quick is, because I know, you know, part of your job is, you know, you update the ICs and then do the import from LMS to CMS.
Right.
Okay. Well, keep in mind with this, you know, everything is one system. There's no more LMS or CMS. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it works is, for what we do is, if we have this contact list here, this is basically going to be the new homeowner list.
Okay.
So I'm going to just pick one out of here. Okay, like this one here, 909 White Way. So if this were on the new homeowner list, actually this one's already a customer. Let me try another one. What was this one? Let me find. There we go. We'll do this one. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put an import date in here. So let's say that this person called in from a new homeowner letter. And again, what we have here is, you know, they call in and give us the address. What we would do is we would check to see if they're on what we call our contact list, which is the new homeowner list, or if they've ever been a customer of ours, if they're on our customer list.
Okay.
What we would do is this button here, Navigate Contact Customer. You click there and put in their address and hit Find. And what it's doing, it's searching both. You saw what we talked about before, the customer account numbers, the MD like 06 something.
Right.
Okay, it's searching to see if this address has one of those account numbers, which means that they were under contract at some time. Okay, well this one it hasn't been. So you hit OK. Well, what they would do is marketing now, and this replaces the import process. They would go in and put, you know, the basic information. Okay, they called in today. Say it was an inbound call. They get their phone number. Okay. Then, you know, say we get their email address. Now, by clicking this button here, they're going to create an actual account for this person, even though they're not a customer. But we're going to be setting everything from the same system.
Okay.
So we click here, and it's saying, do you want to create? We say yes. Then it gives us this. We say OK. Now what it's done is it's created a service order here, and it's created their account number here.
Okay.
So if you click here, you can go to their customer card, which has more information as far as phone numbers and different things. Or we can go back to the service order. And again, so they're already in our system. So just by doing that, there's no more import. That's
Okay.
it. So if they were going to set an IC, then they would go here to line, the service item template, and say it's a 1-year termite and pest plan. They select that. I'm just going to just make it quick. But they would put in a target pest. Then they would also put in who the rep is for commission purposes. They could put that in here. Put in whatever payment information, say it's going to be 7 installments. I'm not going to really mess around with the payments. But then they could go here, line, resource allocation. We'll schedule this one for Michael for today. Hit auto allocate. Okay. Refresh. Now it's scheduled.
Okay.
So think about it. So again, this is like a same date set, and we could do the same date process. Something like that, which alerts the tech. But you think about what you're doing with the import, you're getting the list from, I guess, dispatch to go in and update the information in LMS so you can create the import.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the way it works now is, first of all, the import doesn't even exist anymore because we've already created a customer account. Well, when the technician is finished, just like now, if he calls that information into dispatch, what they're going to do is say, okay, is this do you have a signed contract? They got the 1-year termite pest plan. He's like, yes, they did. Okay, what chemicals did you use? Well, I just put down some glue boards. They had some ants. I put down 10 of them. Did I put them in the kitchen? No equipment or anything like that. And I put down, I sprayed the outside with biphen, or put biphen on the outside. It was 100 feet. You use some type of spreader. Okay. All right, so we got that information. Again, keep in mind, this is the same information that you're getting now to put in LMS so you can create an import.
Right.
Okay, they find the information, they verified it, they verify the payment, they get check number squared away and all that. Put in a billing code. Then just like we looked at before, they go in here and hit post.
Okay. Now, what would they do, for example, if it was like a D&Q?
Okay. Well, we'll go to that real quick. So let me.
Okay.
Okay, so here's their customer account that we just. No, this is the one I'm going to go to. Okay. Here it is. Notice here we've got a balance. There's their balance. It's completed accounting transaction. If you go to the report or their posted service invoice list, you can see is that we've got all this information in there. And then we've also got where their statement.
Okay.
So think now, though, again, when you go in and update the information in LMS so you can create the import,
Mm-hmm.
then that information goes to CMS. Then we have to send it to Navision, and we have to go in and Stacy or Jenna now goes in and posts this information so we can send them a statement just like we did here.
Right.
So look at all the steps that are saved the way that we're doing it now, because we put everything. So it's a big savings. So going back to your question, I'm going to pick a service order, and we'll simulate what you asked.
Okay.
Actually, let's look at what we have running today. And I'm on the service order list. I'm putting an allocation date, which is today. I'm putting today's date so we see what's running today. And let's see if I can find, hopefully one of these is like an IC. Here we go. Okay, here's Dave. His 10 o'clock today is a 356. And you asked what happens if it's D&Q'd?
Yes.
Go here to action required. You'll maybe here in status 2, actually. Yeah, here we go. We got right here, D&Q for termite service.
Okay.
So they put that in there, and then they can put some type of note. Something like that.
Okay.
And maybe change the action required here to like reset appointment. Now, I'm going to go, now then they would go in and deallocate. They would take the technician time off of there. Now, when they do that, it's going to kick us out of this service order. Okay, so it kicks us out of there. But going back to the service order list, now if you go in by the status 2, and do D&Q for termite service, I believe it was this one here. They can find it. Actually, no, it's this one here. And there it is. You see the notes, and you see the action requires.
Okay.
So that's what dispatch will be doing when it doesn't go through production. They're going to be, changing these action required fields. So marketing or customer service will be able to find this appointment by either the status 2 or the action required and know what to do with it, along with some notes that they put in here.
Okay.
Another thing, let me show you real quick that's pretty slick is okay. Like this one here. Let's say that the scenario is that we could that we go out to run this. We've got a 1-year termite service plan, and we've got the mosquito. Let's say that it's raining. We can't do the mosquito service. What you can do is this one here, it says pending for posting. You check that box there. It removes it basically from the service order.
Okay.
So that if you go in and you remove the coupon amount, what will happen is when you actually post this service order as being completed, it's going to create a new service order for this daily deal that will then be sent back to the department that set this service order, and then they can reset it.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and post it. Okay. Now let's go back to the service order list. And if I put an order date, which is put in today's date, because the order date is the date the service order was created.
Okay.
I see here one that was created at 11:45, which is now. If you hit edit, there's that Daily Deal mosquito.
Okay.
So what you could do is then dispatch would go in here, put an action required of reset appointment. Reset mosquito. And so then when they would go in based on action required of reset appointment, that service order ended in 11:05. Actually, there it is at the very bottom there. It's there by reset appointment. They would eventually get to it, open it up, see that the mosquito's sitting there, and then they would go to reset it again.
Okay.
So that's how that process works.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, keep in mind, like I said, I can't emphasize enough, it's all about these service orders.
Right.
Because it's not, whenever it is appointment, yeah, you know, like for instance, if you click here on this, on their customer card, orders, it tells you how many orders there are open for this customer, and that you can have as many as you want. Now, realistically, we would probably never have more than 2 or 3 open for one customer.
Okay.
But, you know, where now in the current system, it's kind of like everything sits in LMS or CMS on this customer card. This is different in that you're actually creating service orders for each appointment.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been almost 2 hours. I know it was a lot. These things always end up being this way, where it just ends up being a lot of information. So, and I've reported this, so Amy. I'll put this on the YouTube channel, and
Okay.
I'll send you if you want to watch this again.
Okay.
And again, also too, I'll send you the list and highlight the other ones I'd like for you to watch. That I think would really be helpful for you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. And then, Stacy, you guys are going to coordinate as far as practicing moving appointments and, you know, on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. And I'll get with Stephanie, too. And so that way we have some stuff that's, you know, more scenarios that maybe me and Amy didn't think of.
Okay. Is there anything we missed, Stacy, Amy, anything that you guys want to look at that?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much went over everything that we had made notes on.
Okay. Well, I know we kind of got in the appointment setting process, but like I said, I really want you to have a very good understanding of if you're sitting, you know, in, you know, marketing or customer service, exactly what, you know, they're looking at, what they're doing.
Right.
And same thing with dispatch too, you know, which we covered some of that as well. But I think it's important that you get that because, you know, obviously marketing, customer service, they're setting up, you know, creating service orders and setting appointments that you're going to work with. And then with dispatch, if they don't go through production, they're going to be reset again. So,
right.
You know.
Absolutely, that all makes sense. And I'm kind of hands-on, and I like to be able to see it from start to finish anyways, so it's nice to be able to see all of it put together.
Yeah, well, there's videos that, I mean, for renewals, for ICs, that do from start to finish, so you can look at that there as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, cool. Well, if you don't have any questions or anything, you know, call me or send me a Skype, whatever. So.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
All right.